Oh. Alrighty. Hey guys, how we doing today? It's me again. It's Tech. Hey, hi. How's it going? Okay. I'm worried that I might be coming in a little quiet, at least in comparison to the game, but we'll see how that goes. I don't want to be like too loud, but I do want to be heard over, music and stuff. Anyway, sound settings are always being weird and stuff, but I say no more preamble. Let's get right on it. February 1st. I said I was going to get warm water today, but I totally forgot. Well, I had warm water, I just drank all of it. The Holy Grail War. It is a great ritual which has been practiced for hundreds of years. If one enters the ritual, one must eliminate the other 6, as it is a battle for one's life. I think I'm doing it right. It is said that the Holy Grail is in the land of Fuyuki, and that many mages have fought over each other Many mages have fought each other here in the past. There we go. They had only one purpose, to obtain the noble phantasm called the Holy Grail. But the origin of the Holy Grail is unknown. It is certain that it has never received the blood of God, but its power matches that of the one in legend. Yeah, it is said that the Holy Grail can grant any wish. Only one has the right to possess it. The Holy Grail can grant one wish for one person. But 7 mages are needed to summon the Holy Grail in this land. One miracle, 7 collaborators. The point is, it was only a matter of time before a fight broke out over the Holy Grail. It began like an ordinary fight over resources. The 7 mages used the power of the Holy Grail equally to each summon a familiar, a servant, to battle the other mages. Only one mage will obtain the Holy Grail. And so, each of them treated the other 6, once allies, now as enemies, and a gruesome fight began. This is the ritual called the Holy Grail War, competition between mages for the Holy Grail. The mage chosen by the Holy Grail are called Masters, and each Master receives a powerful familiar called a Servant by the grace of the Holy Grail. Or I just say Berserker Rider Assassin. There are 2 proofs that one is a Master. Summoning a servant and making it obey, and obtaining the 3 command spells that can order the servant. First goes without saying. A few hours ago to be exact, I summoned Archer to be my servant. That leaves only the second. I must protect to the end this command spell that binds the servant. For a master, this is probably the most important thing of all. The pattern inscribed on my right hand after summoning Archer. This is the command spell. This holy sign granted by the Holy Grail is proof of a master who has summoned a servant. The mark with concentrated magical energy is an instantaneous thing, not an eternal one. It is consumed by use, and each appearance suggests it has 1 use for each strike. In other words, only 3 times. A master who loses all 3 of their command spells will be unable to control their servant and faces death. So, the command spell must be guarded closely as one's life. It hurts my head to think that I'm used one right at the start, but it wasn't completely meaningless, so I'll call it good. Because it's not unusual for servants to go against their masters. I'm fortunate to have been able to chain him using 1 command spell. Well, that's the gist of it. The Holy Grail War will start when the 7 servants are all summoned. I just can't sleep in. I don't know when the last master will appear, but it should be soon. Morning already? I'm so tired. Looking out the window dazed, I notice the sun's already way up. It's past 9. I don't think it's a question of being late anymore. Glancing at the clock, I confirm to myself that I'll be skipping school today. My body's so heavy. Oh, my body's so heavy. It feels like he's taken over half my body. I sit up in bed and take a deep breath. I'm not tired just because I'm not a morning person. Like Archer said, a master who has just summoned their servant can't function satisfactorily. That's right. I summoned Archer, not Saber. I can remember clearly. Well, not something I want to remember, but even if I don't like it, there's no second chance. No re-rolling in this one. About a day until my magical energy returns, huh? Then I guess today will just be a test drive. I slowly climb out of bed. I fight a bit against the unseasonably warm air and my desire to stay wrapped in my blanket. Warm? Okay. I knock out the desire to go back to sleep in the 3rd second of the match to check myself in the mirror. Nothing's obviously wrong, except for the fact that I only have about half the usual magical energy in my body. Everything's up to par. Well, there shouldn't be any problems. For now, I want to check the situation. The servant I summoned is Archer. He's a rude guy with no managed to spare for his summoner and master. And on top of that, he doesn't know who he is. Already? I'll have to live without his noble phantasm until his memory returns. Well, there's no way he can use it if he doesn't remember it. Servants are powerful familiars on their own, but what makes them the most powerful is the fact that they all have one powerful secret move. One. Just one. The problem is, Archer says he can't remember what his is. Well, that's partially my fault, so we'll have to make do. That's right. As this is how things ended up. We're both in the same boat. I hope he sorts his out his memory soon, but with the way he's acting right now, who knows when that'll be. Honestly, looks like we've got a load of problems ahead. Wow, maybe I should have a better opinion of him. The living room is just the way it was. I only expected him to clear up the rubble, so I'm moved that he went this far. He must have felt bad about making such a mess of the living room, or he wouldn't have done this. I should call him admirable, or maybe just a nice guy. Just touch this down just a squidge. The sun's already up. You're pretty loose. I take it back. Shameless attitude. He doesn't deserve any praise at all. Morning. You seem pretty relaxed. I see you've made yourself at home here. Well, it's the room I spent the night in. I've pretty much figured out where everything is. Oh, since I was cleaning anyway, I cleaned up the kitchen too. I was expecting more mess, but it was rather clean. It's quite impressive considering that you live in a Western-style house by yourself. Yeah, Archer? Picked up the kitchen next? I'm getting a headache. Why is my servant checking my cleanliness? They say servants think only of battles, so maybe this guy's just broken somehow. I see. You're not doing well, are you? You seemed well last night, but sleep must have brought up your fatigue. Let me get you a drink, if tea's okay. So at home in a stranger's house. Archer picks out a new teacup without a moment's confusion, and pours a fine rose-colored tea. There are all sorts of things I want to say, but I surprisingly don't feel like interrupting him. Every aspect of his motion is refined, and you could even say he's being considerate. Oh well, it's true that I'm tired, so I guess I'll have a drink. I take a seat. He hands me the teacup silently, and I take a sip. Oh, that's good. Of course, it's an exotic Chinese tea. It's the best part of my fairy leaf, so I'd get mad if it tasted bad. In fact, I get mad when someone uses one of my favorites without permission. Yes. I would get mad, but it's brewed so wonderfully, I'm too happy to complain. Hold on. What are you laughing about? Well, I was going to ask what you thought of it, but when you make a face like that, I guess there's no point in asking. I slammed down the cup onto the table. Don't waste it. You can enjoy it while it's hot. If I'm distracting you, I'll just go. Thanks, but no thanks. I didn't become a master so someone can brew me tea. Besides, there's no need for you to do things without orders. I see. Certainly I did not form a contract with you to brew tea, or clean up after you. If that's how you want it, I'll be careful from now on. Right. What I need is a powerful familiar. I've never heard of a servant who does things around the house, so I have no need for one either. What do you mean, no need? Nothing. Interpret however you want. More importantly, do you remember who you are now? Archer shakes his head. It's just as I thought. It's bad. If you can't remember it after one night, it's not going to come back easy. Even if we test various things today, this is still... Alright, I'll work out what to do about your memory. Well, get ready, Archer. Since you were just summoned, you don't know your way around yet, right? I'll show you around town. Get ready. There's no need. If you want to go, we can just go right now. Hey, you're gonna walk around in that? It hardly looks normal, and besides, other masters will be able to tell you're a servant right away. I don't intend to go announcing to everyone that I'm a master, you know. Oh, so that's what you meant. It's not a problem. Certainly I'll need to change, but only when to take form. Servants are spirits, after all. We become spirits when not in battle to reduce the burden on our masters. Oh yeah, you're still a heroic spirit even after you're summoned already. Since it's the master's magical energy that gives the spirit form, if I cut off that magical energy... Naturally, we would return to spirit form. A servant in this state is like a guardian spirit. We cannot be observed by anyone except the master. We are connected to by the ley line. We could still talk, though, so it's no problem for going scouting. Wow, that really is convenient. In that case, it must be hard to search for other masters. Yeah, but mages can sense other mages, right? It's in the same way. Servants can sense other servants. If a servant knows powerful magic, they should be able to sense servants even from a distance. Just as Archer says. A master is usually a great mage. A mage with strong magical energy is sensitive to other magical energy. But as far as I know, nobody in this town has magical energy that strong. So what about you? Can you tell where the other servants are? Master, have you forgotten my class? Sensing distant enemies isn't a job for a knight. Well, guess not. Archer's magical energy just isn't that strong. I expect only the serving caster would have enough magical energy to locate enemies from a distance. Alright then, follow me, Archer. I'll show you the world you've been summoned to. I don't think it'll be that new for me. But, Master, aren't you forgetting something important? What do you mean by something important? Jeez, you're really not up to par yet. We have yet to exchange the most important part of our contract. The most important exchange? Equivalent exchange? No. Fundamentally, the reward for the servant is to participate in the Holy Grail War. There shouldn't be any more exchanges necessary. You're really not a morning person, are you? Archer says so in surprise. Listening to his sarcastic comment, I realize something. Come to think of it, he hasn't addressed me by name yet. Ah, crap. Names. Ring-a-ding-ding, guess you realized. Well, it's not too late. So, Master, what is your name? And how should I address you from now on? Archer asks sulkily. Damn it, he is a good person. Yeah, it's no mistake. After all, there's no meaning to exchanging names. Servant and master have a relationship forced upon them by the command spell. For a contract with a normal familiar, the exchange of names has a great deal of meaning, but no such bond is needed between the master and the servant. But still, Archer calls it important. It's proof of trust that we shall be fighting alongside each other, even without the command spell. I'm Tosaka Ri. You can call me whatever you like. I answered bluntly, unable to be true to my feelings. Well, actually, it would probably be easier if you called... It would probably be easier for me to be addressed in a reserved manner like you or Master, and he'll probably call me that. That said... Archer mutters my name to himself. I shall call you Reen. Yes, the name suits you well. He says something outrageous. Reen, what's wrong? You don't look normal. Shut up. Let's just go. We don't have time to relax. I turn away and start walking. I'm vexed. I don't know why, but I am. Did Archer say that just to make me feel this way? It's possible. He'll certainly do that sort of thing. Yeah, that must be it. So my face getting hot and my heart pounding. They're all part of his master plan. Be careful, Ren. You're going to have to work to get this crooked guy from now on. You're going to have to work with this crooked guy from now on. With this crooked guy. And I hope you can't hear that. I go out with Archer. The city we live in, Fuyuki City, can be basically divided into two towns. Here, this place with old houses and traditional buildings, is Miyama City. On the other side of the river is Shinto, where modern development is happening. My house is in the older section, Miyama City. Miyama City is broadly separated into two sections as well. This is one of the sections, the Western-style houses where immigrants from foreign countries live. And on the other side is the area of old Japanese-style houses with a mountain behind it. Both sections are on top of hills, so you could say that both are suburbs. The houses in between these two sections are relatively ordinary. As a demonstration, they're about this ordinary. This is the crossroads of Miyama City, and the hill leading up to the Western-style houses like mine. On the opposite side, the hill leads up to the Japanese houses. A bridge leads to the neighboring town of Shinto, and the other way leads to the school, shopping district, and even Ryudo Temple up on the mountain. And this is the large bridge connecting Shinto and Miyama City. A few years ago, a big station was built over that side and has been growing rapidly since then. Even though Miyama City and Shinto are in the same city, you can think of them as totally different places. The city's name, Fuyuki, or Winter Tree, supposedly comes from the fact that winters are long here. Thinking about it, this place has certainly had a long winter. In contrast, though, it's quite warm here, and February here is about as warm as December everywhere else. I bet a few hot springs would turn up if we went digging around. Then again, this half-hearted cold would only make a city of... Shit. Ugh. Re-records this stuff like this didn't happen anyway. Whatever. Then again, this half-hearted cold would make the city a poor hot springs resort. Fuyuki City is a friendly winter and strange climate that enters spring and April with no changes. Shinto is all like this. The rapidly developing town started to build tall buildings, as if rushed by something, and as a result it looks very artificial. Though, that's only in the last 10 years. From what I hear, the big fire here 10 years ago was pretty much burned down the whole residential district. These buildings were constructed on the land no one lived on anymore. And this is the center of it. This is Shinto's park. Now that we've seen all the important locations, what are your thoughts? I ask Archer, who's standing next to me. I can't see him, of course. It's a big park, but there's some reason that no one's here. So it shows, huh? Well, that's because there's a history to this place. I look around the park. A park this big and organized should be a playground for kids, even on weekdays. But there are only a few people here, and a desolate feeling runs through the place. It was about 10 years ago. They say there was a huge fire in the area. It burned for a day until it went out, just as it began to rain. Afterwards, the town was rebuilt, but this place was left as it was. It was burned to ashes, so they made it into a park. Archer doesn't say anything, but even though I can't see him, I could tell he's feeling something special. He seemed to have noticed. That's right. This is where the last Holy Grail War ended. I don't know the details, but the last war ended here, and the place has been like this ever since. I see. That's why this place is full of so many grudges. You can sense those kinds of things? Servants are spirits. We are beings similar to grudges and formed obsessions. Therefore, we are sensitive to such remnants like us. There were places in town with strong regrets, but this place is on a completely different level. To us, the place is more like a reality marble. Archer brings up an unusual term in a motionless voice. Reality marble. One of the magics considered to be the pinnacle of mages, said to be infinitely close to sorcery. For hundreds of years, a bounded field has been the defensive field that protects a mage. Put simply, it's a vicious version of a security system on a house. A bounded field is something applied to an existing area or a building to protect oneself from outside enemies. But it is merely a transformation applied to what already exists. But a reality marble is different. A reality marble is an image that erodes reality. The imagined world of the mage, a bounded field that paints over the reality by letting a mage's heart take form. That is what we call a reality marble. In other words, it's a large rage magic that distorts. Remakes the world as the mage wishes. Rin, what are you thinking?
No, I was just surprised. I just thought that reality marble seemed an uncommon term for an archer.
What, is it strange for me to know it?
Of course, a reality marble is the taboo of taboos. The secret principle. It doesn't make any sense for an archer to know about it.
Isn't that right? I ask with my expression. And then I sense him sighing heavily next to me. Rin, a hero is someone who excels with both magic and weaponry. It's fine if you want to think that an archer can only use bows, but please don't take such an optimistic view of the other servants. Ugh. Come to think of it, he's right.
I understand. That was a careless thing to say. I'll be careful from now on, okay? So, it's okay, right?
Rin, I'm gonna be honest. You are excellent, but because of that, you have a habit of underestimating others. You should reform that habit before you grow up.
You're being rather rude.
Reform like it's bad? Like it's training bad habits out of a horse?
Oh, excuse
me. I didn't mean to make it sound like you're a disobedient horse. I just used the word because it suited your image.
Hey, that's even worse. Ouch.
Pardon me. I just sneeze a little bit. My right arm suddenly hurts. Rin?
Be quiet for a second, Archer.
The command spell engraved on my right hand is hurting.
A small warning zipped to my attention. Someone's watching us.
I extend my consciousness to the surroundings. I roll out the threads of my consciousness and search through the park. I can't find him.
What about you, Archer?
It's difficult. I can't even feel the stare.
Then it must be a master watching. I don't know who it is, but if Archer can't sense it, it has to be a master.
Or just like a normie. There aren't 7 of us yet, but if we wanted to, we could start the fight at any time.
It seems the one watching us wants to battle, but...
The command spell reacts to other command spells, so that must mean that if you are a master, you should be able to recognize other masters when you see them. But wouldn't that mean you should be able to identify the other masters too?
Yes, but a superior mage can conceal their magical energy. Even though command spells react to each other, they operate on a magical energy. If the master has closed his magic circuit, it'll be hard to find him.
That's troubling. That means we're showing them our location.
That's right. Well, if I search around my house, I should be able to find something that kills my magical energy, but...
You don't need it?
Right. Because if I don't hide it, they'll come to us, right? Saves the trouble of going to find them.
Like we don't need an advantageous position. Archer takes a deep breath and goes quiet as if he's shocked.
What, you want to say I shouldn't be overconfident?
I ask, remembering our previous conversation. But Archer just says, that's impossible. You're strongest like this. Yeah, you can let those weaklings follow us around, he says, trying to hold back his laughter.
Well, it's not like I like his response, but we decide to continue walking around town. I don't even like it over here. We tour the important places, really dragging our observer around, having dinner along the way, and bring things to a conclusion. We've been walking a lot, and it's now 7. At this time of the night, our destination should give us the best view. Kong Wind, the tallest building in Shinto. A view from the rooftop of the building is a fitting end for the day. What do you think? The place has a great view, Archer.
Jeez, I pity whoever you'll go out with someday. Drag me around all day.
Did you say something, Archer?
It's an honest opinion. Oh, this is certainly a nice place. If we'd come here to begin with, we wouldn't have had to walk around like we've been.
What are you talking about? Certainly it's a nice view, but all you can tell from here is the overview of the town. You have to go into the places themselves to know the layout.
That's not true. My class is an archer for nothing. You can't be an archer unless you have good eyesight.
Is that so? So can you see my house from here, Archer?
No, I can't see the neighboring town from here. And most I can see as far as the bridge. At that range I can count the number of tiles.
No way! Tiles on the bridge?
That's not just good. His eyesight could match the telescopes you find on these rooftops.
I'm surprised. You really are an archer.
Ren, I don't like to think so, but are you making fun of me?
Of course not. I just misunderstood because even though you're called Archer, you don't really seem like one.
It's a troubling claim. I'll question you further on this no matter when we get home. It seems Archer has taken a liking to the view as he falls silent.
He's probably working out the town's layout.
I can't interrupt while he's surveying the battlefield.
It tickled my throat.
I leave Archer's side and move to the edge of the building.
All I can see with my eyesight is the lights below this building, like the headlights of the cars on the street and the people going home after work. I can't tell what kinds of cars or what kind of people they are. I can see them, but still not see them. It's like noticing someone's watching me, but not being able to see the watcher. At the very least, there's one person that has his base in Shinto. I strain my eyes and stare below me. There are 7 masters in all. I still don't know who the masters are, nor which servants they command. Right now, I'll assume all masters are walking around town collecting information on the other masters. Suddenly I feel someone's eyes on me. There's no reaction from my command spell. I just feel someone's eyes on me. From below? I look down. There are many people walking around on the road. Among them is one person. One person is looking up at me, as if looking up at the moon. I can't tell for sure who it is. I can't tell for sure, but I still know who it is. It's surprising. What's he doing at this kind of a time? Rin, have you found an enemy? Roger calls out to me as if sensing my excitement. Nothing. I just saw someone I knew. Just an ordinary person. Nothing to do with us.
I answer, unable to hide my irritation, and leave the place where I was standing. There's no way he could have seen me from the ground. He must have been looking up at the building by coincidence. So it doesn't mean I was noticed. Still, I'm angry that I let him see me acting as a mage. By the time we get back to Miyama City, it's already past 9 o'clock. Unlike Shinto, Miyama City is an old residential district. No one walks around after 9, and the town grows quiet as midnight. So that's pretty much it. Do you have a good idea of the town? Yeah, I get it. I'll figure out the rest as we go along. Then we're done for the day. I'm not up to par either, so let's go home and rest. We climb the road like up the gentle hill. And there's someone walking in front of us. Huh? Sakura? This is bad. I don't want to see her right now. Rin? Why are we hiding? Shut up! Oh, that person's someone I know. I skipped school today, so I don't want to see her. As I speak, I look at the figure ahead of us. On the road. There's a well-known first-year student and a foreigner I don't know. They're talking about something. No, it seems the foreigner is talking to Sakura against her wishes. Rin? Is the person you know the foreigner? No, I don't know him. There are a lot of Western-style houses around here, so we might be visiting one of them. I say that much, then scold myself for being too soft where that girl is involved. Archer. Is he human? I don't know. He has a form, so he should be human. At the very least, he's not a servant. Right. He's not a master either, so I guess it's just a minor quarrel. Still, she's not the kind of girl to get in trouble with a guy. The girl going. The girl's walking up the hill. The man is... The blonde guy goes down the road we came up. Well then, you can use this place. I'm going to bed unless you have any questions first. I don't have any important questions. Your decision not to rush into a battle is the correct one. You should use tonight to recover your magical energy. Yeah. I'll see you tomorrow then. Please make me tea tomorrow morning. No servant. Not that kind of servant. Fatigue hits me hard once I walk into my room. Oh yeah, I have to contact Kyrie before I go to bed. An annoying priest. I'll already be getting ready to call the substitute mage. I don't really care about that, but he is my guardian, so I should at least do the right thing. Phone. I dial the number. And soon, the fake priest picks up. Kyrie, it's me. I formed a contract with the servant just yesterday, so register me officially as a master. A brief silence. Kyrie's silence is enough pressure to stress you out even over the phone. Understood. Now what? You could come to see me at least once. I have something to give you that I received from your parents. I said to give it to you only if you become a master before you become an adult. Oh, you mean father's will? I already deciphered it and got the item, so it's fine. I'll come see you if I feel like it. Goodbye. Wait, Rid, if you're a master now. I hang up, not hearing him out. Listening to Kyrie's lecture while I'm tired will help me recover my magical energy. Right. All preparations are done now. All that's left to do is to sleep. When I wake up next, it should be a completely different morning. 10 years ago. The Holy Grail War in which my father competed as a master and was defeated. Now I am entering the same battle. February 2nd. So, after breakfast, I clearly explained my immediate plans. What? You're going to school? Yeah. Do you have a problem with that, Archer? No problems, it's just... Archer hesitates but does not object. He must have realized yesterday that I'm not the type to take back my decisions. I can kind of tell without him saying so. Archer is sarcastic, but he's honest. He has an honest side to him, so it seems he won't complain about something he's accepted. Yeah, in other words, he's faithful in an awkward way. That's my conclusion. Nope, more in intuition, after watching Archer for all of yesterday. Rin, as you are a master now, you must always be cautious of other masters. School is a place where it's hard to remain prepared against sudden attacks. That's not true. Look, Archer, even though I'm a master now, I don't intend to change my lifestyle. Besides, the battle between masters is something that should be done out of public view, right? So if we're at school, there are a lot of other people. I don't think we'll see any kind of surprise attacks. I see. If that's what you decided, I can only obey. But I can guard you in spirit form, right? You don't intend for me to stay here while you go to school?
I'm relieved to hear that. It's the duty of a knight to answer trust placed accepted on. Oh, wait, what? Of course not just at school, but I'll be by my side whenever I go outside. Okay, well, there we go. It's the servant role to protect the master, so I'll be counting on you.
I'm relieved to hear that. It's the duty of a knight to answer trust placed on us. I shall do my best to meet your expectations. There you go. But Rin, just hypothetically, what would we do if there was an enemy in that safe place?
What are you suggesting? There might be a master at school?
That's right. It's certainly hard for anyone who isn't a teacher or a student to get in, but it wouldn't be a problem if somebody already there is a master.
I don't think that's possible. In this town, there's only one family of mages other than the Tosaka. The other families have declined, and they don't even have a master.
How do you know there isn't a master?
Hey, it's only natural to investigate other family of mages in the same town. He isn't a master, and his successors have enough magical energy to become a master, so we could just ignore them.
I see. So there's another mage at the school you go to, but you say that that mage doesn't have sufficient magical energy to become a master? Is that correct?
Exactly. So most masters will probably be coming from elsewhere. I don't think such people would come to the school.
Exactly. Well, for now at least. But Rin, there are always exceptions. What if there is a mage at your school that you don't know about?
Like I said, there aren't any. Mages are sensitive to other mages. If we were at the same school for a year, we should be able to sense other mages no matter how well they hide it. I will state with confidence there are only 2 mages at our school. One of them is me, and the other is an apprentice who doesn't even have enough power to become a master. Do you understand? Your caution's just needless worrying. It's completely impossible.
That's why it's only a hypothetical scenario. There's always another side to things. It's only natural for unexpected things to occur. I'm saying that when it does happen, don't blame me. Archer smiles dryly. Just that action makes me want to take it out on him, but if I did, I'd be late for school.
That won't happen. A hypothetical is a hypothetical because it won't happen. If it does, it just means my analysis was too shallow.
Alright, I'll remember that. Let's go then, Reen. It should take 30 minutes to get to the school, so we won't make it unless we leave soon.
I'm surprised. Hypotheticals do happen.
Yeah, I'm surprised as well. Wow, they used to argue over everything. Had an unexpected payoff.
As soon as we pass the school's main gate, we joke around like that. Around us are students heading to classrooms. It's almost time for homeroom.
In the crowd of people rushing to the school building, we stand dumbfounded.
Isn't the air stagnating? Isn't there a bounded field set up already?
It's not complete, but the preparation seems to have already started. If he's doing so openly, he must be a real big shot.
Or a complete amateur. A bounded field that lets others notice the abnormality is only 3rd class. To be 1st class, it has to be hidden until it's activated.
So which do you think it is, Rin?
Who knows? I don't care if he's 3rd class or 1st class. I'm just gonna beat him mercilessly for getting such an indecent thing in my territory.
I walk angrily through the schoolyard. As a mage, it's not nice. I'm not about to mince words, but I can't be satisfied until I properly punish the creator of this bounded field. After second period, while walking back from the music room, I see a first-year student walking unsteadily. The student's carrying some stack of papers, and it looks like she's having trouble.
I'll help, Sakura. Huh? Oh, Sakura-senpai.
What, handouts? World history. That'll be my homeroom teacher. That's Kuzuki. Oh, that Kuzuki. What's he thinking making a girl do this? Here, give me half of it.
Yes. Thank you, senpai.
It's fine. So we're taking these to your classroom?
No, we're taking them to Kuzuki-sensei.
He said we were calling them because it was a misspelling. I understand. Kuzuki's really stubborn. He's the guy who just canceled the whole test just because there was one misspelling in it.
Huh? You mean the school's exam?
Right. I think it was last year's midterm. He came in while everyone was spelling their names and said in his usual tone that the midterm had a misspelling in it. He said that the question was not correct, so the midterm will be cancelled and retaken at a later date. We were surprised, but so were teachers, and they still talk about it today.
That's just like Kuzuki-sensei. He doesn't think teachers should make any mistakes.
He goes too far. You'll realize soon too, Kuzuki is as stubborn as a rock or a mountain.
Josaka-senpai, you must really like Kuzuki-sensei. It's rare for you to talk about someone like that.
Really? Well, I do think you should be more flexible, but... I think that, but also think he's not bad in this way. At our school, there's a teacher liked by all students, and a teacher feared by all students. The balance between the two works so well that I think Kuzuki-sensei is a good disciplinarian. He's the stick in the carrot and stick approach.
Well, you'll see more of him once you reach second year. He teaches ethics too.
It's ironic.
More importantly, Sakura, is it alright if I ask you something? Huh? What is it, senpai?
It's about yesterday. Were you talking to a strange foreigner?
Oh, you were watching, senpai?
Just by chance. So what was it? Do you know him?
No. Well, he was a strange person, and he seemed to be lost. He asked me lots of things, but I couldn't make out what he was saying, so,
Ah, so she ran away.
I see. Sorry, just a bit curious. No, it's alright. Here's fine, senpai. I only have to hand these to him now. Okay,
I'll see you later then. I pass the handouts back to Sakura. As I start to head back to my classroom, I pause.
Sakura, more things. Yes, it's okay. I'm doing fine.
I see. Well, if Shinji does something again, tell me. He doesn't know when to stop, so it'll only get worse if you don't say anything.
It's fine. You don't need to worry, senpai. Minson has been kind recently.
If she says that with such a smile, I can't really say anything else. I bid her goodbye once more and turn my back on the familiar junior. A reliable Kohai type. The day ends. Students leave the classroom and the building gets darker by the second. The sun will set soon. When the red sun sets and night falls, there should be no one left at school. Let's begin, Archer. First we need to check out the bounded field. Once we figure out what kind of boundary field it is, we'll decide whether to eliminate it or leave it. I addressed my invisible partner. Archer must understand as a sense of nodding. Bounded field is something that protects its caster. You could call it a geographical magic in which one knits a line of magic across a land to change the interior. Infinite different effects are possible within a bounded field. There are all sorts of bounded fields, from ones that conceal an area from people's eyes to ones that limit the use of magic within them. The most aggressive of all those that oppress life forms within them. The bounded field laid out over our school is that kind. It's not yet complete, but once it is, everyone in the school should fall unconscious. But something like that won't affect me. After all, a battlefield is something that's targeted not at me, but at the place I'm in. Such an indirect magical energy intervention has no effect on mages who have magical energy throughout their bodies. A weak current flowing through the air will only be repelled by a strong current, like me. So this battlefield has a different intention. I don't know what kind of person set up this battlefield, but his intention is not to defeat a master. It's hard to believe, but his targets everyone at the school. There's only one reason to do something like that. Unbelievably, this guy is... I search the school building and emerge on top of the rooftop to finish. Dark outside. It's 8 o'clock now, way past school closing time, which is 6. The only people in the school are me and Archer. Okay, this makes 7. Well, looks like this is the origin. An H-stroke mark is openly drawn on the rooftop. A purplish-red character only visible to mages is something I've never seen before, engraved with something unknown. Damn it, this isn't something I can handle. The person who set up this battlefield didn't think about anything. He didn't think, but this battlefield is bound with amazing skill. I can temporarily drain magical energy from this battlefield, but I can't eliminate it itself. The field itself. The battlefield can be reactivated just by having the caster put more magical energy into it again. Archer doesn't say anything. He's been quiet ever since we came out onto the rooftop, probably because he too recognizes the power of this battlefield. Or he remembers what's happening. The battlefield doesn't just drain one's strength. Once activated, it will literally dissolve all the people in it. There are battlefields that drain physical and mental strength from people within them. But the battlefield laid out over the school is on a completely different level. This is a soul eater. Its blood fort that dissolves people within it claims the souls that seep out. Since ancient times, souls have been hard to handle. Even though they're believed to exist and are necessary for magic, only one mage has ever understood the soul. Souls are only things to be investigated, or things to be moved into containers. It's incomprehensible not merely to suck them out, but also to collect them in a single place. It's because a mage has no use for them, even if one were to collect the inconvertible energy. So, if there's a reason, it must be... Archer, are you servants this kind of creature? I asked coldly. It is as you suspect. I told you we're basically spirits. Therefore, our meals consist of souls and mental constituents. As you subsist on meat, we subsist on souls and minds. Our basic abilities do not change from such nourishment, but we do become tougher. In other words, our magical energy capacity increases. Yeah. To strengthen your servant, you must attack people indiscriminately. Or free the members. So the magical energy the master provides isn't enough? It's not that. It doesn't hurt to have more. In war, if you lack strength, you can make up for it with supplies, right? It's a basic tactic for a master to steal energy from the people around them. In that regard, this battlefield is very efficient. Archer is saying that if I want to win, I should kill people and steal their strength. That's simple. I already knew that. That's why I think I know which path I'm going to choose. It annoys me. Don't mention it ever again, Archer. I say so while staring at the mark. For some reason, Archer sounds happy as he confidently answers. I feel the same way. I do not intend to do that either. Well, let's erase this. It's meaningless, but it should hinder them a bit. I approach the mark and extend my left arm. The magic crest on my left arm is the Book of Magic passed down the Tosaka family. I switch on my sense. I push magical energy into my magic crest, read that part that explains the elimination of bounded fields, and now all I have to do is activate it. Abso. Bendiano Mitsupsan.
Eliminate. Surgical extraction. Second section. I touch the surface with my left hand and let my magical energy flow out. This will at least wash the color off the mark, but...
What, you're gonna erase it? What a waste.
Suddenly, as if to stop the erasure of the bounded field, a voice echoes over. I quickly stand up and turn around. On top of the water tower, in the sky 10 meters away, there's a guy looking down at me. Deep ultramarine that melts into the night. His grin is wild, and a bestial smell carries on the wind. The stare of the beast is a cool one. The man in blue looks at me like an old friend, even in this situation. Is this your doing?
No. Petty tricks are the mage's job. We only fight as we are commanded to. Ain't that right, you over there?
Casual, but his voice is filled with murderous intent. The guy can see Archer. As I thought, but servant.
That's right. Since you can tell, I consider you as my enemy, right?
My spine freezes. A normal, light tone of voice. It's colder than anything I've ever heard. Scary enough to make me vomit. I can't tell how I should move or what my best course is. But my reason is telling me absolutely not to fight this man here.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good. You seem like you don't know anything, but you grasp the important parts. Man, I messed up. I shouldn't have called out to you just for fun.
The man raises an arm. It happens in an instant. An arm that held nothing until now. Now holds a red weapon, 2 meters long.
Huh?
I jump to the side without thinking. I can't spare the time to consider that I can't jump full force while on a rooftop. I just jump with full force to the sides as if trying to smash the fence. A whirlwind brushes past my hair. Barely made it. He rushed at me in an eye blink and mercilessly slashed at the space I just occupied.
You got some good legs, young lady.
Blue whirlwind pursues me. There is no escapes. The fence is behind me, to my sides. No, won't make it.
Es ist blood. Es ist kind.
My response is fast. I run the magic circuit in my left arm and assemble the magic in a single measure. It lightens my body and adjusts its gravity. In the instant, my body becomes light as a feather and I leap.
Rin!
I know, let me handle it. I jump over the fence and fall from the rooftop. The wind and pressure push my body. 15 meters to the ground. 1.7 seconds until landing. No, that's too slow. It's gonna catch up.
Fox got it, Atlas.
Archer, take care of the landing. I let Archer take the impact of the landing and start to run as soon as my feet touch the ground. First I have to change the location. I have to go somewhere so that we can move around freely on a small place like a rooftop. We have to move into a large field with no obstacles to play the Archer and my strengths. What? I run from the rooftop to the school ground in less than 7 seconds. It's more than 100 meters. My speed is so fast that normal people would only see a blur. But that's...
Man, those are really good legs. It'd be a waste to kill you here.
meaningless against a servant. Archer! The moment I step back, Archer steps in front, taking form. A cloudy night. In Archer's hand is a short sword that reflects the weak moonlight.
Wow. The man crooks his mouth. That's good. That's the way to go. I don't mind people who are quick on the uptake.
A large whirlwind. That's the weapon swung at me from the rooftop. The blood-red crimson lance that tried to mercilessly slaughter me. Servant Lancer. That's right. Your servant Saber. Or not? Who the hell are you? There's no sound of his previous casual demeanor. In response to Lancer, full of murderous intent, Archer remains silent. The distance between the two is about 5 meters. The weapon in Lancer's hand is about 2 meters. For that man with the bestial smell, I feel like the remaining 3 meters are meaningless.
You must not be the type to engage in one-on-one combat.
So you must be the Archer. Archer doesn't respond to the sneering voice either, confronting each other strangely in red and blue. The two counterfeit-colored knights are already watching each other's clinching blow. Alright, I don't like it, but now that we've met, we'll just have to fight. Come on, take your bow out, Archer. I'll have some manners, so at least wait for that. Archer doesn't respond. There's nothing to say to an enemy he must defeat. The steel back of his... Oh, that steel back of his seems to declare so. That makes me realize... I'm stupid. Archer's just waiting for my word. My command. Archer? I talk to his back without approaching him. But I won't help you. Show me your powers here. Is that a laugh? He grins as if to answer my words, and the Red Knight dashes forward. Whirling gusts of wind. Short sword in hand, the red bullet launches. You fool! What meets him is a blue spear thrust. If the dashing archer is a raging wind, the responding spearhead is a divine wind. The sword is swung, swing to deflect the thrust. Archer parries the thrust out of the high-speed lance with his short sword. The one in red stops. The enemy did not permit Archer's rush. The enemy doesn't even let him get within 2 meters of the range of the spear. For a long weapon, distance is always preferred. As Lancer has a weapon almost 2 meters long, he only needs to attack when the enemy comes into his range. Thrusting at an approaching enemy is easier than moving at yourself. But even so, Lancer closes the distance himself and doesn't allow Archer to move forward. Idiot. A mere bowman challenging a close-range fight. His temper is like a burning fire. Lancer closes in with each blow, no thought of stopping. With a long weapon, suicidal to close in on an enemy. Spearman's tactic is to use their long range to defeat the enemy and win the battle. So as Lancer's just advancing unchecked, he doesn't have a chance of winning. No way. Well, that's just by the book. Lancer's lance shows no vulnerabilities as it strikes for the throat, shoulders, forehead, and heart. Thrusts so fast, even the after images are blurred. As each strike of his lance repels, rebuffs, and pushes back Archer, any one of his thrusts could be called a fatal blow. But even as a bowman, Archer is a servant. No ordinary attacks can be a fatal blow. Having repelled the lance aimed at his forehead, Archer closes in with speed superior to Lancer's lance. Based on its shape, you might think that the main attack of a lance is a thrust, but the basic strength of a lance is in its swings. This is because a wide swing, using its long range, does not allow the enemy to dodge it by stepping back. A partial retreat does not allow for escape. An attempt to counterattack will only result in a slashed stomach. But simply going forward will end up in a smashed grip from the long shaft of the lance. Archer and Lancer are similarly built. On top of that, it's hard for Archer with no heavy armor to step into range of a lance swung like a whirlwind. But thrusts are a different story. Blazing fast thrust, certain to strike at you is certainly scary. But as long as as the target attacks a point, there's many ways to avoid it once you see it. As Archer did just then, hitting the shaft of the approaching lance to redirect it slightly creates an opening. It must be because he underestimated a bowman. The advantage of a long weapon is the length and freedom of its range. Once Lancer has discarded these advantages himself, his defeat is...
The one red stops. A nightmare-like time is reversing. The thrust is faster than the previous ones. Archer tries to parry the flow, but he gets flicked away along with his weapon. There are no openings left in Lance's attack. Not just that, the thrusts increase in speed and power without limit and becomes the final blow even for a servant. We were the ones that underestimated him. That servant. For Lance's weapon, there are no general rules about lances. Who could ever parry continuous attacks without even space to breathe between them? Archer manages to retreat a bit in parries, and as a result the distance between them opens a little. That distance. Lancer uses the distance to run away as a runway to launch an even more powerful attack. The raging continuous attack is only a repetition of that. The blows themselves are godlike. 10 blows already. No, it must actually be many times more than that. The heavy rain of Lance pours down yet with more strength, trying to skew Archer to death. It's not fast, but it's just skill. It thrusts like a waterfall with no change in speed. What Archer can do now that he's on the defensive? What can Archer do now that he's on the defensive? Such a short sword, he can only parry the lance. He has no way to close in to Lancer, and he continues to retreat. Vacuum of steel unfolds. Support. I have to back Archer up. My throat won't respond. My magic is poor aim. Unless Archer can get away from Lancer, I will hit him with my magic as well. Such an opening would only increase Lance's advantage. And besides, frankly, I'm captivated. This is a battle between servants. This is the Holy Grail War itself, where we use heroic spirits, highest rank of familiar whom we would never otherwise obtain. Servants. Familiars of different classes that obey 7 masters. These are the highest rank familiars, called heroic spirits, that the Holy Grail summons. So, it's misleading to call them familiars. Originally, familiars were just beings that ran errands for the mage. Imagine, perhaps, a cat in boots, or a cute white bird, or a black dog that doesn't obey its master, something like that. Familiars that a mere mage can summon are of that level. Familiars are just familiars. There can only be mascots that run errands for their masters, so they can't be being stronger than their masters. But servants are different. They are the most powerful beings. Even for sorcerers, of which there are only 5 in this world, it would probably be impossible to form a contract with them. It's not that summoning is hard, or even the ability of the servant surpasses that of the mage. Servants themselves are beings above magic. Saber. Oh. I'll make it clear. Servants are heroes from the past. Myth, legend, fable, history. Fiction or not, the superhuman beings who gained concrete existence in folklore are what we call heroes. A hero that becomes eternal in people's minds is no longer human after their death, and is promoted to another form of existence. Humans who bring about miracles, save people, and achieve great deeds are called heroes even after their deaths. After being so called, they are promoted to heroic spirits after that death and become guardians of humanity. It doesn't matter whether these people exist in reality or only in stories. It is people's minds that create a hero. People's wishes that this is how things should be, give them form, and set them up as real. Authenticity does not matter. They can have form as long as they have fame as a legend and people have faith. The ultimate ideal humans have created, the greatest human people have created. These are the heroes, the heroic spirits. And of course, since they are beyond human, they cannot be controlled by humans. The mage usually borrows their power only to mimic them. They can't summon the heroic spirits themselves. But the Holy Grail made that impossibility into reality. It summons a heroic experience beyond human control and turns it into a familiar, obedient to the master. That nonsense is proof of the Holy Grail is almighty. And with the passing of years ignored, the heroic spirits are summoned, the most recent from 100 years ago, the oldest from the ancient days. 7 heroic spirits, Obey each of the 7 masters, protect them, and eliminate the masters of the enemy. Heroes from every age and country are revived into the present day. Kill one another for supremacy. This is why the ritual is called the Holy Grail War. But it seems the Holy Grail has its limits too. Even the Holy Grail cannot indiscriminately call into the spirit like beings. Just as form invented by humans is required for the imaginary 6th element, known as the devil, to take form, the heroic spirits also need a form in order to live in this world. That form is their temporary name, and the way they exist in this world. The Holy Grail has furnished classes so that the heroic spirits may take form more easily, and it only summons the heroic spirits to match these classes. It's like a passport to the present that sets up the role as a familiar in advance. By allowing them summoned heroic spirit to take on that role, it helps the spirit to take form. If there are 7 masters chosen by the Holy Grail, there are also 7 servants obeying those masters. There are 7 furnished classes. Knight of the Sword, Saber. Knight of the Lance, Lancer. Knight of the Bow, Archer. Mounted Soldier, Rider. Mage, Caster. Silent Killer, Assassin. Mad Warrior, Berserker. There's a whole lot of other ones, but we're going to ignore those for now. Only the heroic spirits with attributes of these classes are summoned to the present day to obey the master and become a servant. This is the servant system. Summoning in contact with the heroic spirit beyond human control to win the miracle beyond human grasp. The ultimate competition held only on this ground, the one and only Holy Grail War. A loud crash. The short sword that deflected Lancer's lance flies from Archer's hand. This is Lancer's technique. A straight thrust that turns into a sweep at Archer's wrist. It was a blow Archer could not avoid, even had he seen it coming. There is no effective way of parrying a lance with a sword. A strong rebuff only results in a stronger counterattack, and a weak rebuff does not create any openings. The important aspect of the battle between a sword and a lance lies in defeating the enemy when he is at the wrong range. Idiot. There's no hesitation in a Lancer. His movement to push Archer back stops. He must intend to use to end the match in a single instant. He stares at the firmly placed Lancer and the swordless Archer class. In that instant, the lance is thrust like a flash of light that can't even be seen. Forehead, neck, and heart. 3 shots are launched, any one a fatal blow. But a flash too fast to see is repelled by a shining blade. In Archer's hand is the short sword again. A sword like before, a tiny sword like a hatchet. Its biggest difference is... crap, 2 swords. A pair of swords. In his hands are matched swords, mirror images of each other. A bowman trying to be a swordsman. Lancer's lance flies. But as if to finish Archer off, the lance moves faster and faster. Archer defends with a burning spirit. His hawk-like eyes say that he will not retreat anymore. No, he's only going to advance from here on. Flashing sound are like a well-orchestrated music. 2 steels clanging against each other. Sparking clashes in rhythm without pause. The battle of the 2 is like a vacuum. It sucks in the air around them. It seems like anything approaching them will be cut to pieces. In reality, it really only lasts an instant. But for me looking on, it seems to take an infinitely long time. Lancer tries not to let Archer near him, while Archer advances using his sword as a shield. Over 100 blows have been thrown, and Archer loses a sword every time. But only for a moment, as Archer has a sword in his hand in the next instant, forcing Lancer back a little each time. Lancer finally admits his carelessness. Even though he doesn't know who was before him, he'll be the loser if he dismisses him as a mere bowman. The distance widens. Probably to recover, Lancer puts a large distance between them. His speed's extraordinary. Archer's charge was out of this world, but he's still slow compared to Lancer. The movement of his retreat had panther-like speed and agility. 27. I've disarmed you that many times. You still have more. Lancer mutters in irritation. It's actually more like confusion. I feel the same. According to Father, a servant carries only one weapon. Their weapon is filled with magical energy, so it's not something that can be created one after another, like Archer was just doing. Servants are heroes that sublimate their spirits after death, equaling the Holy Spirits. To put it another way, they are like devils or angels. They are powerful familiars on their own, but their most powerful weapon is their proof of heroism, a magical item called the Noble Phantasm. The Noble Phantasm is a weapon, armor the servant used when they were a hero, and it's treated as a last resort. The Noble Phantasm is the one and only weapon for a servant. This is because the Noble Phantasm is an ultimate weapon without equal. The lance that Lancer is using will show its power as a Noble Phantasm when Lancer deems it necessary. The Noble Phantasm is an impressive weapon by itself, but its true ability is to release all its power using the true name. Heroes' weapons which rule over all others, and which have killed dragons and gods. Servants activate their Noble Phantasm by using their magical energy. It's much like magic. Servants recreate the destructions and legends using their Noble Phantasms as a catalyst. Noble Phantasms are never disposable. The swords that Archer brought out must be excellent, but they can't be his Noble Phantasm. He is the servant Archer, so the Noble Phantasm he conceals must be a bow. What's wrong, Lancer? It's not like you to just stand there and watch. Where's the energy you had just now? You're talking shit, you cheater. This irritation is understandable. Even though Lancer fought as a spearman, Archer fended him off as a swordsman. Which means Archer hasn't shown his abilities yet. So it's natural for Lancer to feel ghastly. Alright then, I'll ask. What hero are you? I've never heard of a bowman using two swords. On the other hand, it's easy to tell who you are. It's said that only the fastest heroes are chosen as a Lancer, but you surpass even that. There aren't 3 Lancers in this world at your level, and on top of that, there's only one with such beast-like agility. Oh, well said, Archer. At that instant, his vast murderous intent makes me forget to breathe. Lancer's arm moves. This is different from before. It stands free from contempt. Although his face would say otherwise. Its spearhead is lowered as if to strike the ground, and only its stare pierces Archer. In that case, you shall face my finishing blow. I won't stop you. If you're an enemy, I'll have to defeat you sooner or later. Lancer's body sinks down. At the same time, a chill like thorns fills the schoolyard. The air freezes. Not a metaphor, it literally freezes. All the mana in the air is frozen. The only person allowed to breathe here is the warrior, called Lancer. And Lancer's hands is unmistakably a demonic one. And now, it is waiting to take its true form in the moment it strikes. He'll be beaten. I don't know what kind of Noble Phantasm that is, but Archer will be beaten. It's implausible since it's the first time I felt such an intuition, but there's no doubt about it. Archer will die by that lance's thrust. It's determined. Literally, Lancer's lance is the embodiment of inescapable death. Oh. Archer will be defeated. Archer will die when Lancer pierces his heart. And yet, even though I know it's going to happen, I can't help him. Because if I move a finger, that trigger will attack. So if anything can stop this battle and Archer's defeat, it would be... Who's there? It would be the chance of appearance of a stranger we all overlooked. Huh? The ghastly air coming from Lancer disappears. The sound of fleeing footsteps. That figure is definitely wearing a school uniform.
A student? Someone was still here?
It seems so. He did save our lives, though.
Archer says calmly.
Well, we were certainly saved, but...
My mistake. I didn't notice my surroundings when I was preoccupied with Lancer. Archer, what are you doing?
Can't you see? I'm resting since I'm free now.
You can't do that. What about Lancer?
He went after the guy. He saw us, so Lancer probably went to eliminate him.
Archer, we don't know it was a dude. For an instant, my thought stops. Follow him, Archer! I'll catch up right away.
Archer goes after Lancer immediately.
How stupid of me.
I curse my carelessness. It's the rule of mages to eliminate any witnesses. Which is why, if one didn't want to do that, one just had to allow no witnesses. I've done that until now, so why do I have to make mistakes today of all days? A night where even the moonlight is obscured. The student is lying on the cold hallway floor, and Archer is standing still. He's staring silently at the student. The smell hits my nose. The blood on the floor makes it clear it's the smell of death.
Follow him, Archer. Lancer will probably go back to his master.
This won't be worth it unless we find out what his master looks like. Archer's all moody because he knows what comes next. Archer goes after Lancer. I'm left alone with the student lying on the floor. I can't look straight at him. But I must. It's my fault. This is my fault. This is my fault. Ever since I was a child. Ever since I became the successor of Tosaka, I've been preparing for something like this. There's no good or evil for mages. I've always told myself that this road has only my blood and the blood of others, so...
One shot from Lancer's lance, huh? Can't be saved with your heart pierced.
I don't know how long it's been since Lancer killed him. Was he lucky or unlucky to be pierced through the heart? I guess Lance's attack is a simple external wound, as the flow of blood from the rupture isn't too severe. It's not too severe, but it's all over when the brain doesn't get any more blood. No, basically if his heart was pierced, he would have died instantly.
But it's amazing he isn't dead yet.
Yeah, he's still breathing, faintly, as if to give a last scream. But that'll only last for a few more seconds. He can't heal his own wounds, and I don't have enough power to save him either.
I have to look at his face. I should do at least that.
I try to touch the head, facing the ground, and realize my fingertips won't move. They're trembling. I wonder why. I'm used to such things. I've had to make these kinds of choices many times before. I've lost many things due to my mistakes and my selfishness. That's why I'm ready for a day like this.
So why? Why am I so angry at myself? Sorry. I'll see you off at least.
I control my trembling fingers and my failing knees with my will, and look at the face of the student. A huge smacking sound. It really feels like I've been hit on the head with a hammer.
Stop it. Why does it have to be you?
I grit my teeth, not to suppress my trembling. I'm really pissed off.
Why is it him? Why did it have to be him?
I'm not mad at Lancer for killing a witness quickly and perfectly, just as a servant should do. I'm
just angry at him for staying late in this place on this day.
Sakura's face flashes in my mind. She's definitely gonna cry. As I recall... Oh, shit. What the hell? As I recall, one red tinted day after school a long time ago. Distant sunset. Someone always running alone. And a boring girl, staring at that from far away. And before me, the corpse of someone who happened to get involved. There is a way. Hold on. Wow, crazy sneezy recently. It's weird.
I might fail and lose my last resort to the process, but there is still a way. No. I'll lose my last resort whether I succeed or fail, so the result for me won't change. It's a mistake. The fact of his death is already determined. It's my fault for not noticing the things around me. It's his fault for unluckily staying late. So I don't need to go that far. Yeah, because this is what my father gave me, nothing else, left just for me. A powerful chunk of magical energy, a reliable last resort to win through his battle. A precious, precious thing, just for me. So what? I take off the feeling and kneel in front of the one who became a corpse in another second. Man, I've done it. The pendant in my hand becomes lighter. My father's memento is drained to almost emptiness and falls into what used to be a dying body. Well, it can't be helped. Yeah, it can't be helped. I didn't have the power or skills to revive someone with a damaged heart, damaged blood vessels, and on the verge of brain death on top of that. That's why I had to make up for my lack of skill with this powerful object. It's lucky he was still breathing. If he was completely dead, no amount of magical energy could have revived him. But since he was still alive, I just did what I could and ended up saving his life. It wasn't such a bad... It wouldn't have been awful if I failed, but since I succeeded, I guess it's alright. Yeah, I feel fulfilled to be honest, so this wasn't such a bad experience. I'm just bluffing. Let's go. What's done is done. We have to head back before he wakes up. Yeah, there's no need for me to stay here any longer. Archer should be following Lancer, so I should go home by myself. On my way back, I remember. I left the pendant at school. Just a pendant now that the magical energy has been drained out of it. Oh well. I've no more use for it anyway. Sure, it might have been a bit of magical energy left in it, but surely less than the 10 joules I already have. What my father intended to leave for me was enough magical energy to win the Holy Grail War. So now, without magical energy, that thing is just meaningless. I enter the house without saying anything and sit on the sofa. Archer isn't back yet. I sigh and listen to the clock for a few minutes. I have to switch gears. What am I doing daydreaming after a battle like that? I jump up and brew some tea. There's still so many things to think about. Most importantly, the servants. I've just witnessed a battle between servants I had previously only understood intellectually. Lancer, huh? I panicked when he almost used his noble phantasm, but if I would have found out his identity if he had used it. The easiest way to beat an enemy is to learn their identity. Ignoring for a moment the idiot that doesn't even know his own identity, the biggest weak point of a servant is their true name. Discovering the servant's true name, in other words, figuring out their identity, should let you at least take a guess at what kind of noble phantasm they might have. It goes without saying, but since servants are heroic spirits, they have a legend associated with them. If you figure out their legend, you should be able to figure out most of their abilities. Servants are called by their class names because they want to hide their true names. Because the more famous a hero is, the more people know about their weapons and their weaknesses. A heroic spirit that becomes a servant never gives out their true identity. The only ones that know a servant's identities are the masters. Servants' identities while trying to discover the identity... There's even a test at understanding that the masters hide their servants' identities while trying to discover the identities of the others.
This is the 5th Holy Grail War. The quality of the servants are determined by the ranks of the summoned heroic spirits. It goes without saying that the more famous heroes, or the heroes with better weapons and are stronger. But it's difficult to summon such heroic spirits. To summon a heroic spirit, one must have a connection with them, such as a weapon they use during their lives. Even the Mages Association has few of such things. So, generally, one will summon a heroic spirit that suits them, like I did. A servant's strength is determined by the rank of the heroic spirit. But it's not that simple, as even the most powerful heroic spirits may have a hard time depending on the class they're assigned to. That is because of the special abilities assigned to each class. It's possibly of the possibility of the weak defeating the strong. 7 classes each have an additional ability, and one even has the chance of defeating an opponent of higher rank depending on one's ability affinity. Take an example: an infamous hero who has defeated a great hero 4 times in the past. As far as I know, the most powerful servant is Saber. In all the previous 4 wars, Saber has made it to the final fight. It is said that the 3 classes, Saber, Lancer, and Archer, have strong magic resistance. Put it simply, magic's pretty much useless against them. It's because they're fighters who fought through the Age of Myths, when magics were used widely. Magics that mages use now would probably dissipate just by touching them. Anyway, that's why these 3 classes are considered the basics and the best. Another that's worthy of mention is the Servant Berserker. The heroic spirit summoned into this class loses their sanity. Just as the name implies, they become a mad warrior puppet of their master. The benefit from this is a strengthening of their power far exceeding the powers they had when they were alive. However, the more powerful a servant becomes, the greater the burden it poses on the master. In the past, masters who summoned Berserker couldn't control the rampaging servants and destroyed themselves by running out of magical energy. No exceptions. The winners and losers of the Holy Grail War are largely determined by the abilities of the servants. Well, I expect there'll be ways to win it by the master's efforts, but it is basically a fight between the servants. That's why a master should be very careful when summoning a servant. I silently consider the plans we should make from now on. The clock, fixed already, strikes 11 while I do so. Archer comes home. Welcome back. How did it go? I'm sorry, I failed. There must be one cautious master. At the very least, Lancer's master's not on this side of town. As I expected. Lancer was alone, and it seems his master isn't the type to show up for battles personally. I see. Well, I guess it won't be easy. Yeah, there's no way everything will go as I might hope. Yeah, so it can't be helped. Let's consider what happened tonight as a tuition fee for the lessons learned. You seem down, Master. Where are your high spirits? Don't tell me you got scared by that one fight. If you'd so order, I am ready to go to battle against Lancer again right now. Archer protests silently that we should do so. I see. I guess I look depressed. Of course not. I'm staying in only because I don't want to do anything pointless. Anything pointless? Well, all the masters aren't present yet, right? Tonight couldn't be helped, but I wouldn't start fighting before we get the signal. My father told me this is one of the rules of the Holy Grail War. I see. So your father was also a master. Archer nods understanding. Then Archer makes a troubled face and starts to ponder something. What? Do you have something you want to say? Yeah, there's something I forgot to ask. Rin, you've been raised since you were small to be a master, and you've accepted that, right? So you've expected to be a master from the beginning. Of course. Well, there are certainly masters that are suddenly appointed, but I'm different. Built different. For the Tosaka family. The Holy Grail has been an earnest desire for many generations. I thought so. So you must have a purpose. I forgot to ask about that. I cannot swear my word to you unless I know my master's wish. So, Rin, what is your wish?
Wish? I don't really have one.
What? Oh, Archer's making a funny face. That can't be true! The Holy Grail is an almighty grail that grants wishes. Becoming a master means obtaining the Holy Grail, so how can you say that you have no wish to grant? Archer's asking with a serious expression. Oh, I see. The master's wish after obtaining the Holy Grail isn't irrelevant to the servant. But it's strange. Father said that servants have wishes as well, but that is only their wish. I don't think Archer should be concerned because I don't have any wishes. Alright, if you don't have a specific wish, why not wish for something ambiguous, like ruling the world?
Why? The world's already mine. Hey now, Archer. This world is just another word. The world is just another word for those things you value around you, right? That's something I've had since I was born. If you tell me to rule such a world, I already rule it.
Archer looks at me with a troubled expression. I'm amazed. The guy really is hard-headed. Ridiculous. The Holy Grail is a power to grant wishes. The power to obtain the world. Are you saying you're seeking it, you have no wish?
By ruling the world? But ruling the world would be so troublesome, and there's no point in wishing for something so pointless. You seem to lack imagination.
I don't understand. For what then do you fight?
I fight because there's a battle, Archer, and I'll take whatever I can get. I don't know about this Holy Grail thing, but I can just use it when I find something I want, right? As a human, there are infinite things I might want in life.
So you're saying...
Yep, I'm fighting to win, Archer.
Archer's shoulders slump. Maybe he's disappointed in my opinions, but it seems he's finally relaxed. I give up. You're certainly a worthy master for me. I find it hard to deal with that kind of comment, so I wish he'd stop saying such things.
A servant has no right to choose who their master, but I'll ask for the heck of it. Am I a worthy master for you?
Goes without saying, you're unmistakably the strongest master. No one would be a better master for me to serve than you.
Oh, thanks. It doesn't sound like flattery when you say it.
I look away because I'm embarrassed. I find it hard to deal with Archer because he speaks frankly, like this even though he's so cynical. But, well, I'm honestly happy that he trusts me. I trust Archer, and he trusts me. I don't think this sense of solidarity is a bad thing. Well then, let's take a break. Even if the 7th Master is going to appear, it won't be right now. Hey, wait a minute, Rin. What happened to that jewelry of yours?
Oh, you mean my pendant? Oh, I forgot it. It's out of power, so there's no use for it, right?
That's true, but... well, if you say so.
Yeah, it's a memento of my father, but it's not like it's my only memory of him.
That's no good. You don't have to be that strong, Rin. So saying, Archer takes out the pendant that I left at school.
Oh, you went and picked it up for me.
Don't forget it again. It only looks right on you, Rin. As if he's embarrassed, Archer looks away as he hands me the pendant.
I see. Thanks.
I accept it. To be honest, I don't know if I should be embarrassed or cool about it. The pendant is as it was. As expected, there's no magical energy left in it. Empty of magical energy, it's just an expensive but ordinary jewel, and it doesn't hold any power. But as Archer would put it, even if there's no power left in this pendant, it still has meaning. It's something my father specifically left for me. Then... maybe I can just laugh off the fact that I helped that guy by sacrificing my trump card. Hey, wait a sec. Something clicks in my head. I wasn't thinking straight back with him because of my regret. Thinking about it calmly, I missed something. He saw us, so it'll be dangerous unless we ingest his memory. Basically, the answer prioritized eliminating the witness over his battle with us. Venture's thinking probably matches his master's. So, if such a master finds out the guy he killed didn't die, what would he do?
He probably wouldn't let the guy keep on living.
I get up from my sofa. It's been 3 hours since then. I might not make it, but after all I did, I have to make it on time. I run through the night. Fortunately, I know where his house is. No, I didn't look it up. It just so happens to be an acquaintance of mine goes there a lot. Well, I've never really been there myself. Honestly, you're just taking unwanted troubles. Archer has no interest in cooperating. He was against saving the guy when he was dying, and he's against me going to help him right now. It's midnight. Under the cloudy night sky, we reach the Japanese-style house. There's no sign of anyone at this house or on the edge of the residential district. There aren't many houses around it, and there's no one to come to help if something happens here. Shit, what the hell? My breath is white. A wind starts to pick up. It must be quite strong as the clouds start to drift fast. The supposedly warm wind of Fuyuki sends chills down my spine, making me tremble. Even if Fuyuki City is considered warm, it's still cold on the hill. The air around here is frozen. I strain my ears in the cold atmosphere. In the frozen feeling, I feel a small sense of an enemy. He's here. The servant from before. I bite my lip. His presence is perceptible on the other side of the wall. Lynch is in the house already and about to kill the same guy again, who has just come home without a clue as to what happened. I'll just have to jump in and beat him. I'll worry about what comes next when it happens. Just as I'm about to command Archer to go in. A bright white light, like a fallen sun, comes from within the house. The presence is eclipsed by another presence. A wave of power if the servant Lancer is consumed by an even larger wave. The instantaneous explosion of ether gives the spiritual being a body summoned to overpower Lancer. No way! I can only mutter. But it's true. To prove it, Lancer jumps over the wall and leaps away as if fleeing this place. Oh shit, I don't have my chat set up on the setup. No! Hey there, person who's obviously referencing Nero Chaos, your name is cool. Sorry you're coming in at the tail end of the stream. Hope you enjoyed so far, anyway. Hey Archer, is this another one of your hypothetical scenarios? I don't know, but this makes Eve 7. All the masters are here right now, Rin. Archer answers calmly. I've lost my normal judgment. That's why I can't even consider the obvious event that would follow. The wind blows strongly. Clouds cover the sky like an umbrella. The unlit suburbs are enclosed by the darkness. And the servant jumps over the wall, coming down like a demonic bird. Archer has reacted already, but I couldn't. That was my mistake. The battle ended with that small opening, not lasting even a second. It might have been only a second for me, but for that servant, it was an opening that couldn't be ignored. A sword rushes at me. Huh? Archer? Archer pushes me aside and the servant slashes him. It happens in an instant. Archer, who handled Lancer's fury of attacks beautifully, has been taken down with one blow. Archer, disappear! But I make it in time this time. Just as the enemy servant's about to cut off Archer's head with her blade, I forcibly remove him. The pain in my right hand. It must have been an excessive command, so a command spell was disappeared from my hand. Now there's only one remaining. But this is for the best. Rather than having Archer die, I would prefer to lose 1 or 2 command spells. Giving no consideration to Archer's disappearance, the servant attacks me. Don't underestimate me! I take from my pocket a topaz with a wind spell stored in it. Then I launch all the magical energy it contains at her without processing it. The thing, which can blow away a house without a trace, is a bundle of wind spells I've stocked up over time. It's one of the 10 jewels I've been putting my magical energy into for 17 years without rest. I'm using all the magical energy stored in it, so even if I can't defeat her, it should at least slow her down a bit. No, not even that. It did nothing. The swirl of wind that instantly tears anything apart caught within it disappears like a magic trick the instant it touches the servant. Such strong magic resistance. Mere magical energy from a mage can't hurt the servant. So this is it. Can't be hurt by magic, and I've lost the protection of Archer, so I can't stop this servant. I barely managed to avoid one blow, but that's all. I look up at the night sky. In it is the figure of a cold-hearted death, who's looking down at me as I lay miserably on the ground. It's Saber! Ah! What? The wind blows. In between the dark clouds in the spiral sky, the moon shines. Falling moonlight and the beautiful face. This is the servant that drove off Lancer, defeated my archer in one strike, and annulled my magic with no trouble. That magic was splendid, Mage. The girl's voice is like a bell. Yes, this voice is like a nightmare right now. It's only natural. The more beautiful my enemy is, the more of a nightmare it is that I cannot believe the difference in our strength. But this is your end, Master of Archer. The point of the sword shines brilliantly. On the verge of death, I understand. With just one look, without proof. This is the card I wanted. The one said to be the strongest of all servants. The hero of the sword. Saber. I look up at the moon, accepting my death. There's no time for me to flee or plead for my life. I will die here. Yosakarvin's Holy Grail war will end on the third day. There is only disgrace and regret, and I'll probably vanish bearing a grudge against my enemy. But still, I don't feel anything. Something really must be wrong with me. Even though I'm about to be killed in an instant, I adore her again. That's right. If you ask for regrets, that's all. But I guess it can't be helped, because she is the most powerful servant. Because her figure is just so heartless, so infinitely valiant, and so beautiful. It's the end of the prologue, yay! I still really hope I can still show this. I didn't have an issue before, so let's just sit back and watch. This is, I hope this isn't breaking some obscure Twitch rule that I don't know about, just sitting here not talking, watching this. But it's over now anyway, so. Alright. And that was the prologue. Hope you guys enjoyed that retreading. Which means, next week we're getting into Heaven's Field proper. See you guys there. But in the meantime, I hope you guys have a splendid week. Thank you, Mr. Nero27 for showing up. I hope to see you guys next time. And in the meantime, have a great week. Treat yourselves nice.